The rapidly melting ice cap on Kilimanjaro paints a bleak picture. I grew up in Tanzania between the years of 1949 and 1970. I returned for the first time to Tanzania in December 2003. Tanzania became independent in 1961. The Tabora Diocese was running a Watson water project, and funding was drying up from one source. I volunteered to raise funds for a water well. Igombe Dam was the Tabora water supply, and that was inaugurated by Sir Edward Twining. And actually, I used to water ski with my buddies on this dam, which was highly dangerous since of all those tree stumps you see poking up. We never knew where they were going to be. It's still the same. I filmed this project at Inonwela village. This is the museum. It's a museum now, but it's a house where Dr. David Livingstone lived in the 1850s. Originally, an Arab slave trader lived here, and he was afraid of Livingstone because he'd heard about his reputation in terms of getting the news out about slave trading. So he ran off, and Livingstone took up residence here. This is how it looked. Sir Edward Twining again in the opening of that as a museum in 1959. This is also the location where Dr. Livingstone bid adieu to Stanley, the reporter that was sent out from the New York Post. He wrote many letters to his friends in Europe, and sometimes these took 6 years to reach, and mostly it was to try and expose the atrocities of the slave trade. He said, "The Arab agents really the worst cannibals in all Africa. If my disclosures lead to the suppression of the wickedness, I shall not grudge the pain and toil I have endured." This is one of the necklaces that was worn by the slaves as they were marched along. And Dr. Livingstone being pushed over a river by some of his porters. Dr. Livingstone. We're on our way to the regional office to get permission to film the water project. In the regional office, Mr. Allison is the acting executive officer, assistant executive officer. Life is hard here, hand to mouth. Plenty of mangoes grow in the area. They were actually, seeds were dropped by the Arab slave traders, so they have an abundance of mangoes. This is a kitchen in a little house, a little village, the village of Inonwela. These pigeons actually keep them to eat. This little girl has a very extended belly button. They appear to think it's normal, but I don't believe it is for 1 minute. John Kazimoto is the health officer who is currently on loan for 6 months to the Diocese of Tabora to assist them with their education on this water sanitation project. And over there is Edson Fedez, and he is the HIV/AIDS educator within the community, and he works hand in hand with Johnny. This is a former well and how they used to get their water before. Major health hazard. Having problems with diarrhea, cholera, etc. And this is what the new water wells look like. very easy to use. In fact, supposed to only supply water for 250 people. Actually, 850 come to this particular pump. This is a former latrine. That's the way, and this is actually a little bit upscale compared to what they used to do, which was relieve themselves anywhere. But they are now contributing $1 of their meager $10 a year annual earnings to buy concrete and mesh for the upgrade of the toilet, the latrine, which is this one, and there's a plastic exhaust pipe sticking out of the roof there that goes all the way down into the toilet itself and keeps it, exhaust pipe as it were. They keep it very clean. This is the church, St. Stephen's Chapel, where actually I was married in 1963. And this is the AIDS Education dance troupe who put on a special dance, song and dance in the church for me. I plan to continue my efforts to focus and bring attention to the need for more water points in this area. It's badly needed. Without water, there is no life. That's the check received for this water well that was installed in February 2005. In loving memory of my daughter Carina Chantal Owen Madsen, who was born in Tabora in December 1964 and passed away suddenly in Denmark, August 2004.